Hey, what's up, and welcome back to A-Aron Reacts. This is the second in a mini series we're doing for My Funny Valentine for Angelina Jordan. Now, if you have not watched the first one, go check it out. I believe it's going to show up here, if I'm not mistaken, right now. It's kind of a prereq, I think, before we move on. That was at age 8. Now, this is going to be at age 9. And I'm going to be coming probably back to what we saw at 8 because there's a comparison. So let's dive right in.
Behold the way our fine fellow friend this virtue doth parade. Thou knowest not, my dim-witted friend, the picture thou hast made. Thy naked brow and tosslet hair conceal by God intent. Thou noble, upright, truthful, sincere, and slightly obedient. You're my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine. You make me smile with my heart.
I guess let's stop here because we've got the intro and part of this. So, a couple things. Love the attire, that flower crown. She always looks so pretty in that little dress and everything. Amazing little kind of flowers on the side and stuff. Awesome. Here we see that she does the intro again. That isn't prevalent in a lot of the versions of My Funny Valentine. I talked about that in the first reaction. One thing I just was realizing here that I didn't mention, I don't think I mentioned in the first, is that this is at that age where she tends to have, on the more softer, delicate passages, a full on airy tone that, can be healthy. And I'm not saying it's unhealthy what she's doing, but she hasn't quite found that level of airiness that works for her at this age. And we see that here. The main reason I stopped here at this time is we see, certain things that she's already cleaning up a little bit and already improving on, and then there's still some areas that are just, need some work, right? And I love how she did Valentine here, My Funny Valentine, and then she did a little passage where she struggled a little bit, which I'm sure with time will get better. So let's rehear that piece right there. Yeah.
Sweet comic Valentine,
Beautiful.
you make me smile with my heart.
So I think we had a little bit of a break. I'm not a vocalist, but this is what I'm hearing, so I might be wrong. But we heard a little bit of a break on Smile because I feel like she didn't seamlessly transition into that register and she adapted and moved into her head voice, I think.
Make me smile
Yeah,
with
I think that's what's going
my heart. Your looks are laughable.
on. Yeah.
Unphotographable. Yeah, you're my favorite work of art.
So here we see that deliberate slide where she goes, Faye, like she slides up to it and attacks lower and then slides into it. It's just beautiful. Um, yeah, there's definitely an improvement in this version.
Is your figure as angry?
I don't think she danced around the is your figure um, before. I don't recall that. If she did, I missed it.
As angry.
Here.
Is your figure as angry? Is your mouth a little bit
Well, that's perfect.
when you open it to speak?
And so, look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. This is not a criticism. It's just a comment. You can see that she's not, and to be clear, I'm not saying she's uncomfortable or nervous. This is completely different. I know she doesn't really get nervous, but there's a difference between that and actually feeling genuinely comfortable on stage. And here you see kind of the beginnings of her career where she didn't quite figure herself out yet, and she's doing things like you would might fidget with your hair and stuff like that. These are things that a performer does. You see her cross her leg in front of the other because she's not quite sure what to do. Again, we've talked in past, if you followed some of my stuff, where she's wanting to tap her foot and then she realizes she doesn't, and so she's fidgeting a little bit trying to figure that out, to get control of her stage presence here. Watch her feet here.
Is your mouth a little bit
And she's not quite sure.
when you open it to speak?
Right there, she crosses it and then back.
Are you
Okay, this woman here.
smart? But
Okay, so that was a big improvement. So that's smart. That was the one she struggled with in the first, and she still doesn't quite have it yet. But here you can distinctly understand the contour she's trying to create. And I also now, because I see that and hear that, I understand why she struggled with it so much. Because from a listening perspective, it's really difficult notes to hit.
to speak. Are you smart? Speak. Are you smart?
Yeah, that's tough. Are you smart? Yeah, she's just working on it.
But time changes for me.
Ooh, a little sassy
But
there.
if
I lo
changes for me, not if you care for me. Stay.
So, I don't recall that, and again, it's very possible I missed it before, but I feel like she's decorating this note because the piano behind her is actually getting more engaged. He's got a lot more activity, he's dancing around that a little bit, he's building, and, I think she just went with it. That's my guess. I think she just went with it.
Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay.
Okay, so she still struggled with the stay there. But I feel like she maintained the intonation, the pitch a little bit more accurately. I do feel like there's an improvement. We also heard a little bit. I talked in some of the other ones. Maybe it was Cry Me a River, or forget where. Like kind of this call and response. It's not quite a response per se, but well, in the traditional sense, but it is a little bit of a response to how she's singing. You hear from the sax player right after this, right here, maybe.
Not if you care for me.
Right here, I think. Yeah, just a little rawness.
Stay, little Valentine. Stay.
Despite it being imperfect, she still held that and that breath control. She's continuing to refine these muscles in this performance.
Today's Valentine Day is your figure
Oops.
that's angry, is your mouth a little weak
This is some big ranges, Beth.
when you open it to speak? Are
Love the
you
piano. That
but
was even better, I feel. Um, Almost the same as the previous one, but I feel like it was a little bit more controlled. And again, you can hear now. There's distinct notes she's targeting with that slide, and this is going to be oh beautiful when she gets there. Yeah.
but don't change your hair from me. Not if you care for me. Stay
Ooh, yes. I love this piano player.
each day's Valentine
So here we get a little bit of that oscillation on the pitch, which I mean, in the past it sounded like it was deliberate, but I'm not sure here. Yeah, well, that's okay. So yeah, and I see a huge. So it shows 8 and 9 years old. I'm not so sure about ages, and I know that the my source has been wrong sometimes, but you know it could just be. I mean, I think it's later, but even if it's not later, for whatever reason, it's wrong. And this isn't 9. We know that she tends to perform better than rehearsal, so maybe some of that's at play here too. But it does feel like she's developed on several fronts. One, I just noticed that her vibrato is so refined here. And it was good before. I don't think I even commented on the vibrato because I think at this point I just kind of expected of her, right? But there were a couple points where I feel like maybe it was less than perfect, less than Angelina-esque, right? Here, it just felt flawless. I mean, throughout. There were a couple challenges with switching registers that I think affected that, but the vibrato itself had no issues. We saw a little bit more pitch accuracy here, which is huge. That's so important for a slow song like this. We saw her decorate notes slightly differently. Um, we saw her interacting more and subtly, but more with the building of the band, and perhaps more importantly, the band reacting to her, which I'll talk about that in a minute, but from the first one. But I think that piano, I love this piano player. I mean, the sax was good, but he was mostly in the background, and that was by design, by the way, which was good of him. But the piano was just fantastic in this, and I love that play between them. That phrase of smart that she's adding on. She's creating her own phrase. She's creating her own complete interpretation of that. Which let's go back to the lyrics and why this is so important. I think, and perhaps why even she's choosing it here in "Smart" is these lyrics are kind of you know you don't have you're not the prettiest or the most beautiful person. you don't even, I forget the specifics, when you open your mouth, right? And then it says, "Are you smart?" And so now it's not, it's beyond looks. It's like, now we're questioning certain aspects of your personality, but at the end of the day, none of it matters, right? None of it matters because you're still my perfect, piece of art, is how the lyric goes, something to that effect, right? So don't change anything. But here, "Are you smart?" is kind of, there's many different interpretations of it depending on which artist does it, but it's kind of almost humorous. Like, "Are you even smart?" Like, I don't care, right? And so now she's decorating it to give its own meaning, and I feel like she's almost like crafting it in terms of an artistic interpretation, like almost changing the meaning of smart, with how she's, where she's going with this. And it's really fascinating that she's decided to take this piece at, that moment, consistently now, because we saw 5 takes in the first one, and now we've got a sixth, if you will, here in this one. And now we saw that she's created more contour for it, which she probably intended to do for the first ones, but wasn't quite able to accomplish it, right? Here it's more clear what she's doing, right? She'll hit the note smart, then she goes up, and then she goes down to a chord change, and then down again. And then she's got slides in between there. So she's really decorating that. And we saw more control of that here. We still see plenty of the early development things, like we talked about her comfort on the stage and what's she doing with her feet and so forth. Again, she's not nervous, but getting completely comfortable. Now, I talked about the interaction with the band, and I could be wrong, but I think we did 5 takes, so I'm pretty sure that in the first one, I actually went back between the two recordings I did, and I saw the original comment, thinking, "Wait, did I miss any particular notes that were directed at me for the initial reaction at the age of 8?" And I'm actually kind of glad I didn't go back and reread it, because I just remember do it at age 8 and 9, because originally I was going to do a triple reaction, which I'm still going to do, coming up with Chris Walker today. Now you won't get it same day, more than likely, but ages of 10, 16, and 18. And then in my membership group, somebody came back and said, "Yo, I think you should do 8 and 9. They're kind of cool." Well, that's the comment I'm referring to. And I went back and looked at that between the videos, and the comment specifically talked about how the band didn't follow her on the second take. Now, I did not go back and listen again after I did the reaction after reading that comment, but I'm replaying in my mind kind of how it went. And I didn't comment in the first one, and some of you might hate me for saying this, and you know what? Maybe I'm blatantly wrong, and I'll go back and listen to it and adjust. Look, I'm not perfect either, right? And could have it all wrong. But I think what I was hearing is actually Angelina, that was, for the first time that I'm aware of, at really almost any point, off in timing, which is typical of this song, by the way. A lot of people play with this song. It's very common. I even talked about, I think I talked about the concept of a rubato, where like you pull and give the rhythmic change in it. And I think she did that a lot. And so what they struggled with as a group in the first one, with the multiple takes of the rehearsal, was trying to find that flow, because my interpretation of it was that Angelina was speeding up and slowing down the tempo, not that the band wasn't following her, that they were trying to adjust to following her. And actually, they did a pretty good job. I was actually pretty impressed, if I recall correctly. Again, I could be wrong, but that's the way I interpreted it. But it did feel more like them following her lead here, in that one. Here, it felt like there was a true accompaniment happening, where, well, yes, she was leading. She was leading for sure. There's no doubt about it. But that piano was fully engaged with her, and there was this back and forth communication, and that was really neat to see. Okay, I think that's it for this one. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so now. There's a link in the description, so check that out if you're an angel and you want to get some perks in my membership. Regardless, I thank you. And the next one coming up here, I'm going to be doing a triple reaction with Chris Walker for My Funny Valentine. So super looking forward to that. We'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.